warm welcome to ComplyAny. After login, you see compliance score of entities, departments and client groups. Third block shows compliance status of partners. Step 1. Company. First step is to set up your companies. Your country company data has been created based on information you input at the time of customer registration. We have given information about particular terms used via icon, displayed in red after field name. Please check for information. Total number of country company allowed in your plan and already created, shown in red on top. You can create country region company if you have operations spread across many states, just click plus new button. Now you can create a country region company by filling relevant fields. Red asterisk marked fields are mandatory in all creation options. After entering details, click Save and your country region company will appear in listing page. Entity module shows number of entities allowed in your plan and created. You can view, edit and delete entities. If you have limits available, you can create company. You can fill mandatory and other fields and save. You can also upload your business logo here. This logo will be visible on left-hand side on top header. This logo will be also shown in your mobile app. Step 2. Departments. We have already created some standard departments generally used in an organization. If any of the system department not used in your organization, you can disable those, but deletion not allowed for system departments. If required, you can create your own department. Just mention department name and save. We have already created some sub-departments generally used in an organization. You can use those, if not required, just disable them. You can also create your own sub-department by clicking plus new button. Select department name and then mention sub-department name and save. Step 3. Law or head. We have already created some law or compliance categories which are generally used. You cannot edit or delete these. Yes, if you need a new law or head, it can be created. It may be anything under which you would like to monitor compliances. Select country related to law. Mention law or head name. You can also give short name if real name is bigger. Save. Your law or head will be available for use. Sub-law or subhead is a category under law or head. These can also be used to monitor compliances. We have already created some sub-law which are generally used. If required, you can create new sub-law or subhead. Select law or head under which you require sub-law or subheads. Give name to it. You can also give short name. Step 4. Calendar. Calendar management is used to make compliances which are used on the basis of financial year. You will see default financial year based on your company's country, and based on financial year, semi-month, quarter, half-year defined. Weekly off and government, holidays defined. If required, you can change any of these periods. By default, your compliance start date is the date of start of subscription. System will allow setup of compliances after this date. If you want to maintain compliances from back date, you can select date. Close period is used to lock open data for editing. By default, system has 5th of following month. If you need, you can change this date. Step 5. User management. First user is created based on details you entered during customer registration process. This user is super admin, having all the rights. Other user or admin can be created by super admin. Click plus new button to create new user. Select entity. Select department and sub-department, if any. Red star mark fields are mandatory. Mention give username. Give user ID. It may be name or anything. This is used for login into system. User code may be employee code. Email ID and phone number. Select user role available by default. You can also create new user role and allocate access rights. Select manage and escalation manager if required. And click button invite user. User will get an email from no-reply@complyany.com. With company ID, user ID and temporary password. If email not reached. In inbox, ask user to check spam, junk email box. New user can use credentials to log in into system and start using it. Change user functionality that can be used in case existing user left the company or changed his or her role and no longer responsible for compliances already assigned to him or her. Select entity name. Select existing user. Select department of new user. And select replaced user and save. After saving, all open compliances of old user will be marked to new user. Proxy user is a person who is having same rights of any other person. This is generally used in case of a person who is having personal assistant who is taking care of regular job of other person. You can create a proxy user by clicking plus new. Select entity name. Select existing user. Select department of proxy user. Select proxy username. Give date from which access rights to be given and end date. Save. You can create client groups to monitor compliances of your clients. Clients group may be partners. In case of small professional firm, client group can be defined as private limited company, partnership, free zone company, mainland company, etc. These client group will appear in dashboard reports. To create new client group, click plus new, enter the name of the group, and save. You can also create client subgroup under any client group. Client subgroup may be manager, director, associates, etc. In case of no partner hierarchy, client subgroup may be listed company, audit, income tax, GST, small company, large company, society, etc. To create a client subgroup, click plus new. Select client group and name client subgroup and save. Client's master data can be maintained under client management. Client data is required to set up compliance for a client. To create a new client, click plus new. Enter data required to be maintained for client. It is advisable to fill data so these can be readily available for future use. Step 6. Compliance Management. Part A. Standard Compliance. There are 3 types of compliances in the system. 1. Standard Compliance. 2. Mandatory Compliance. 3. Manual Compliance. Standard compliances are those compliances for which government or authority has fixed date, for example income return to be filed by the 31st of July of every year. System has list of these compliances. In case of date changed by government or authorities, system will update these change dates automatically. User don't need to remember or do any date change. These compliances are shown in brown color font. Mandatory compliances are those compliances which are defined in law or regulations but government or authority has not fixed any date. For example, Board of Directors meeting to be held within 120 days of previous meeting or any register or record to be maintained under any labor law. System has list of these compliances and are shown in green color font. Manual compliances are those compliances which are created by user, may be required under any law or for internal governance. These are shown in dark blue color font. Let's create a standard compliance by clicking plus new button. Select entity name for which standard compliance is to be created. After selecting entity, system will show name of laws based on country of entity. For example, if entity country is in India, it will show law and compliances applicable in India. Similarly, if entity country is in Singapore, system will show compliances as applicable for Singapore. Let's select an Indian entity. It is showing income tax, GST, state law, company law, industrial law, labor law, and industry-specific law. Let's open income tax law. To create a standard compliance, we need to select department, subdepartment, if available, responsible user, start date, and choose if attachment of document is optional or mandatory. Then for Income Tax Act, choose yes. After selecting yes, it will show select taxpayer type, select. Click yes, if advance income tax will be paid. Click yes, if SFT applicable. Click TCS to yes, if applicable, then select options. Click TDS to yes, if applicable, then select applicable section of TDS. Also select TDS return and TDS certificate. Then click show compliances. Review these compliances with due dates. If all okay, select all from top left header and click confirm. After confirming, all selected compliances are available under standard compliance listing. You can view details, edit or delete it. Edit is allowed only for data entered by user. You cannot edit system data like dates, compliance name, etc. Similarly, you can make standard compliances under GST. Select parameters. If you are registered in many states, you can select multiple states. Select yes to goods and service tax. Then select taxpayer type. Then show compliance. Verify compliances and confirm. GST compliances will be available in standard compliance listing. If you would like to create compliance for your client, Select Department Client. Once you select Client Department, 3 more options will open: first client group, second client subgroup, and third client name. If client is registered in many states, you can select multiple state. You can also select multiple clients, if same compliance applicable to many clients. If you selected 4 states and 3 clients for GST, system will create 432 compliances for a year in just 1 minute. Now open State Law. Select Parameters. If you have your entities in many states, you can select multiple states. Based on your state selection, system will show you list of laws applicable in those states. Select Standard Compliances and confirm. Now see Company Law, select Parameters and select Applicable Law and Taxpayer Type. Select Show Compliance, review and mark compliances and confirm. If Industrial Law applicable, generally it is in case of factories, open Industrial Law. Select Parameters, select Applicable Law and Taxpayer Type. Click Show Compliances. Choose Standard Compliance and confirm. Now open Labor Law tab. Select Parameters, select Law, Taxpayer Type. Click Show Compliances, review compliances, select and confirm. Industry-specific compliance. Step 6. Compliance Management. Part C. Manual Compliance. Manual compliances are those compliances which are created by user, may be required under any law or for internal governance. These are shown in dark blue color font. Let's see how to create manual compliance. Click plus New button. User must provide data in 3 blocks to set up compliance. These blocks are shown with red cross sign until data entered. Once data provided, it will turn into green tick sign. Select Entity. After selecting Entity, next block of Select Law and User will open. Select Compliance Type. There are 7 types available. If you select Agreement, additional data field will be available for making your records for future reference. If you select Bank Guarantee, additional data field will open so you can maintain related data for future reference. If you select Insurance, additional data field open. You can maintain data for future reference. If you select Passport and Visa, additional data field will open. You can either fill data manually in these fields or just upload passport file and click Get Data button. System will read data from your PDF or image file and fill all related fields. You can use this facility for more accurate and faster input of data via OCR. Number of OCR available are shown in red on top. You can add passport details of many employees and also enter visa details to monitor expiry date of these. If you select Compliance Type as Rent, additional data fields will be available for maintaining records for future. Select Other or Tax if no additional data to be maintained. Select Other Parameters. Next block in Manual Compliance Creation is Define Compliance. You can select importance as critical or non-critical. Give name of compliance. Attach copy of notice or any other document which may be required for future. Fill form number, if any. Select due date. If compliance is to be completed only once, select due date. If this to be repeated in future, click recurring. You can select recurrence, daily, weekly, semi-monthly, monthly, quarterly, half-yearly, or yearly. Under each there are some more selection required. If you select monthly, you should select day and month. If any compliance is required to be done on 7th of next month, select 7 and 1. Select month as 0 if to be selected if required in same month, or select 2 if to be done next to next month, and so on. Then select range of recurrence start date and end date. By default end date is subscription end date. Enter due date description, if any. Select date type, fixed or working. Fixed means if government says 7th of following month means 7th only. If they says 7th working day of following month, in this case if any weekend or holiday falls on due date, next working date will be due date. Enter if any penalty. Select nature of compliance. If you select attach document mandatory, responsible person has to attach document as proof of compliance. Last block is reminder. System has option to define 10 reminders. By default, system will show 3 reminders 0, 1 and 2. Means if due date is 7th, system will send reminder via email and WhatsApp, if selected, on 5th, 6th and 7th. If case of rent, insurance etc. many reminders can be defined like 45 days before, 60 days etc. Click Review to see compliances, select if correct and confirm. Step 7. Post Compliance. Post-compliance module is very critical and very simple. If any compliance is due today, it will show list. User just need to select compliance date, enter remarks if any, upload any evidence and save. If any compliance related to date prior to today date and not completed yet, list will show under overdue. User just need to select compliance date. Since these are late, remarks are mandatory. Upload any evidence and save. Similarly, compliance which will be due in this month, listed in this month block. If any of these are completed, select compliance date, mention remarks if any, upload any evidence and save. Remaining all open compliances shown under upcoming block. If any of these are completed, select compliance date, mention remarks if any, upload any evidence and save. Once user select date and save any open compliance, it will move to completed compliance. User can edit date, remarks, upload file if data is open for edit based on close period defined in calendar. If compliance is not available for edit, it will be shown as completed. Other features. Part A. Resources Management. We have well-stacked library of business laws for your ready reference. You can click to view or download any law. These resources are available based on your subscription plan. You registered for many countries. You can view resources of those countries. Other features. Part B. Notifications. We have all recent notifications, circulars, guides made available to you with brief summary of each such changes for you to easy understand. You can click to view or download any law. These notifications are available based on your subscription plan. You registered for many countries. You can view notifications of those countries. Other features. Part C. Adding multiple account. If you have multiple subscription plan, maybe for different group of companies or one for business and one for personal, you can click Add Company option. In the pop-up, enter company ID, user ID and password. Now you can switch over these accounts whenever you want to see other one. Other features. Part D. Revise due date of compliance. Go to Compliance Management, click Manual Compliance, and then click Edit. If you would like to change due date of any open compliance, or if you got new due date from any government authority, you can revise due date. Click Add against revised due date and enter new due date, and can also enter remarks for it. In case of legal case hearing, you can maintain multiple revised date and also keep details for all extended dates. If you would like to see these revised date history, go to Post Compliance, select Compliance Nature, then select Date with Authorities, and click View. You can click Action Greater Than button to see history of changed dates. This month show review of new ComplyAny compliance. Thanks for watching this demo video. Download our mobile app from App Store or Google Play for quick monitoring and complying.